Let's bring in presidential historian Allan Lichtman. He's been following this very closely. He's successfully predicted the outcome of every U.S. election going back to 1984, and he's back with us from Bethesda, Maryland. Allan, good to see you today.
Thank you.
How are you feeling about which way this is going?
This is looking like it's going to be my 10th successful prediction in a row ever since I predicted Ronald Reagan's reelection in April 1982, 2.5 years ahead of time, and in the midst of the worst recession in the Great Depression. I'm able to do this because I ignore the very flawed polls. I don't listen to pundits. I don't follow the day-to-day events of the campaign. Rather, I look at the big picture of incumbent strength and performance through my 13 keys to the White House. And if 6 of these keys or more go against the party in power, they're predicted losers. Donald Trump was down 7. So way back in August, I predicted Donald Trump's defeat. I predicted that Joe Biden would be the next president. And I stuck with that through all the seeming ups and downs of the campaign, which had no effect on the fundamentals. So I always tell the voters, forget about the polls, forget about the pundits, keep your eye on the big picture.
Yeah, speaking of the fundamentals, I mean, as we inch ever closer to this becoming quite clear the way it's going to go, I just want to get your take on all the noise that's going on and the lawsuits and the recounts and the protests and Donald Trump calling this rigged and fraudulent and corrupt.
Donald Trump has shown himself to be the most reprehensible and dangerous of presidents in the history of the United States. We have never had a president or any candidate blatantly attack our democracy for self-serving purposes only, undermine the faith of the American people in the integrity of American elections and the durability of our democracy. It is just shameful to see a president do that. And for all the bluster about voter fraud, they have not come up with a single example of voter fraud anywhere in America. Do you think that Trump's buddy, the Republican Governor Kemp of Georgia, is manipulating the vote to get Joe Biden to win, or that the Republican administration in Arizona is manipulating the vote to get Joe Biden in? A Republican official who was in charge of training poll workers said, these charges are so absurd. What do you think? If the Democrats are such cheaters, why did they forget to cheat in 2016 when Donald Trump won the presidency by razor-thin margins? This is not only dangerous and reprehensible, it is also blatantly false, these charges of Democratic voter fraud.
So, Allan, potentially, what damage do you think that might do, what Donald Trump is saying? And in all likelihood, we'll sort of double and triple down on that as we move forward in the next couple of days.
Unfortunately, I think it can do long-term damage. You know, Joe Biden's foremost task is bringing the country together and restoring faith in the longest-running democracy in the world. And everything that Donald Trump is doing is not going to help him stay in office, but is going to have him go out like a bull in a china shop, breaking as much china of our democracy as you can. But I still have faith in the ability of the American people to come together. We even did it after the Civil War. And we know Joe Biden is not a John Kennedy. He's not a Barack Obama. He's not a charismatic figure, but he may be what we need right now. He's non-threatening. He's reconciling. He's empathetic. He's shown he can work with Republicans and Democrats.
And what about the process itself? You're talking about U.S. democracy, all the different moving parts, Allan, and the checks and the balances and all those counties and all those people working to make sure that there is accountability, transparency, and accuracy.
The system is working. For all Donald Trump's blusters, it's not going to change one thing. His tears are not going to erase a single vote. Our democracy is working exactly as it should. The voters cast their ballots. An absentee ballot, a mail-in ballot is as legitimate as a ballot cast on Election Day. And we can see, regardless of party, in Republican states like Georgia and Arizona, and in Democratic states like Pennsylvania and Nevada, the vote is going absolutely smoothly on a nonpartisan, fair basis. The system is working, Donald Trump, and stop trashing it.
What about the turnout before we go and what you make of that? Just these huge numbers, Allan.
It's a great testament to the American people that they feel motivated to exercise their sacred franchise. America has always lagged behind other industrial democracies, including Canada, in voting turnout, looks like we're catching up and maybe exceeding a lot of other countries.
Allan Lichtman, presidential historian in Bethesda, Maryland. He's predicted accurately every presidential election going back to 1984 and has done it again this time around, we think. Allan, great to have you with us. Thanks so much for this.
Take care.